one more list, ladies and gentlemen, one more list for this year, and I have to actually preface this list with a little bit of a forewarning or a little bit of a notation, something like that. That's the fact that this list is based off of a lot fewer albums than my metal list, my typical top 25 with honorable mentions list. This is something where there's going to be a lot of people that are going to post and probably have a lot of discriminating opinions or disparaging opinions compared to what my list is. And I understand that, but you have to understand also that I don't listen to every single thing that's released, unfortunately. I would love to. I would love to examine just about everything that comes out, but it is almost impossible for me to do so and also maintain my regular reviewing duties. So please bear with this list, even if you think it's shit. That said, this is going to be the list of the top 10 pop and rock albums of the year 2011. Now, names that you will not see on this list. Some will be surprising given who I am, others will not be. Beyonce's 4 will not be on this list because that album sucks. Lady Gaga's Born This Way will not be on this list because that album makes me want to use it as some sort of deadly weapon and kill her with it. You will also not see albums from Manchester Orchestra or, surprisingly enough, My Morning Jacket. And those of you who know me very well know that I love My Morning Jacket, but I feel that the album that they released this year, Circuital, was not good enough to make it to this top 10 list. That said, let's get on with it before I just talk this whole entire video and not tell you anything. Number 10, The King is Dead by the Decemberists. This is set to be the Decemberists' final album. They, of course, released an EP a couple of months ago to kind of finish up everything, tie up the loose ends, and the like. But this was a great album that was released in early January. I always had a fondness for the Decemberists, and this album kind of continued that fondness. Definitely got a real REM-style vibe from this album, which I mentioned in the review that I did, which a lot of you guys actually watched. I'm surprised, and I thank you guys for that. Some of you may have actually subscribed based on that. And if that's the case, then I thank you. Number 9, Milo Xyloto by Coldplay, or however you want to say it. The new album by Coldplay. And you know what? A lot of people are going to say it's not the same. It's not like a Rush of Blood to the Head. It's not like, the older stuff that they really started off their career with. But I really enjoyed this album. I think that this Brian Eno does a great job with production. This feels really, really massive, you know what I mean? And you can definitely see the transition and the little bit of consistency heading toward about a U2 sound or something like that. And I really like that because this is a band that could not live off of the Rush of Blood to the Head sound throughout their entire career. People would stop coming out, people would stop buying, they get bored, and so I like the change. Number 8, speaking of bands that are no longer with us, REM's Collapse into Now. This is their final record, and there's going to be a lot of people that are kind of like meh on this album, but I really liked it. I think that this was the album that they really needed because throughout the past 10 years or so, they've kind of experimented with a couple of different sounds. They've gone heavy, they've gone soft, they've gone heavy, they've gone soft. This is a nice mix of the two, but mainly focuses on the heavy, and they definitely left on a really high note and really miss these guys. They have a great compilation. They have a great compilation out that documents their entire history, including that album, which is this right here. Part lies, part heart, part truth, part garbage. Wow, I can't read today. I'm surprised I'm doing this list if I can't read. Great album though, Collapse into Now, REM, Wish You Would Come Back. Number 7, El Camino by the Black Keys. Like I documented in my review, I like this album a lot. It reminded me a lot of Brothers, but the problem with it is that it reminded me too much of Brothers, almost as though these songs were recorded in the same sessions as Brothers. So it's like I was talking about with Coldplay, how they couldn't do the Rush of Blood to the Head sound their entire career. The Black Keys cannot do the Brothers sound throughout their entire career, and they'll just notice everything declining. But still a rockin' album, still really enjoy it. Made it to the list at number 7. Number 6, we have Helplessness Blues by Fleet Foxes. This is one of those folk albums that really just spoke to me whenever I listened to it. And I kind of just gave this album a shot because I was going to do a 3-play with a couple of other album reviewers, 3 Creation, and The Needle Drop, Anthony Fantano. And whenever I listened to this album, I absolutely fell in love with it to the point that I bought it. I'm now a Fleet Foxes fan. I would love to go and see them. This is just a terrific record. There's just so much beauty in this album that it can almost not even be explained. Number 5, it almost has to be included, but it's not my number 1. 21 by Adele. Adele has single-handedly probably saved the music business temporarily, because her album has gone 13 times platinum throughout the world. If you are just going with the whole 13 million copies of the album sold worldwide, there's multiple and different platinum and gold scales everywhere else. It's done 5 million here, and it's just it's worth it. This is one of those albums where you listen to it and you're like, you know what, this is justified, because this album is terrific. She has one of the best voices in pop music today, and I can't get enough of it. Whenever we had it on in the store, I loved hearing songs from that. The only song that really kind of bummed me out a little bit, or just I didn't want to hear, was Rumor Has It. Surprisingly enough, it has a catchy hook, but if you hear it too many times, it just gets annoying. Number 4, I'm With You by Red Hot Chili Peppers. I know some people will also have disparaging opinions on this one. However, I really, really like this release. I like the chill atmosphere. I like the real sound that was reminiscent of a harder version of maybe Californication or something like that. And the new edition is just fantastic. I missed Frusciante, don't get me wrong, but they definitely got a qualified replacement for him. Now, number 3, we get to Fucked Up, David Comes to Life. This is an album that was Album of the Year in Spin, and this is a tremendous, tremendous punk rock opera, so to speak. And this is just a really massive, great concept album that I highly recommend to anybody who hasn't heard of this band. It's something that really takes you on a journey. You really want to read along with it, and you just really get into this album whenever you listen to it, regardless to where you're listening to it, whether you're in an atmosphere where there's a lot of people around, or principally and primarily if you're just sitting at home all by yourself, just kind of eating this album for a late midnight snack. It's just a great, great album to digest. I really liked it. Number 2, though, is Foo Fighters with Wasting Light. Man, oh man, I listened to this album over and over and over again whenever it came out, and it just is a terrific, terrific release. It's been a number of years since we've gotten a release from the Foos, and they came back with, honestly, like a garage album, one of the hardest garage albums that you're going to hear from a band that's as, mainstream and really well-loved as Foo Fighters. Wasting Light is just such a good release. It's on sale. I almost want to buy another copy. That's how good this album is. But it's not number 1. Number 1's an album that I didn't review. I wish I would have, but I didn't get a hold of it until a month after. Something that we don't have in the store. Something that pisses me off that we don't have in the store, because it's number 1 for this year, Conditions of My Parole by Puscifer. This is an album that combines all of Puscifer's strengths from all of their albums that have come previous, and they just combine it together into this weird amalgamation that just keeps you engaged throughout the entire experience. You just fall in love with each individual song. You're going to love some more than others. You're going to have preferences, just like any other record. But the other songs that are on this record are no slouches either, and you're not going to want to skip them. They're almost going to be like building anticipation to that one song that you love. You still love these songs, but there's one that's coming up that you really want, that you're waiting for. And this song, it doesn't even feel like it's in the way, but it's in the way. Such a good album. One that I wish I would have gotten the opportunity to review. One that I still may. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for understanding the conditions of this list. And thank you for watching Cover Killer Nation. 2012 will hopefully have a lot more great alternative rock and pop to talk about. Hopefully the trend that has started this year, thanks to Adele's 21, Foo Fighters, and some of the other members of this list, will continue. Take care.